I'm going to need some help to get this sermon started this morning. Isabella, would you be willing to help me, please? Why don't you stand here with me? We're going to play a game. And to play this game, we're going to have to divide into two teams. I'll be the captain of one team, and you can be the captain of the other team. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 people here. So you're going to pick 6 people. I'm going to pick 6 people. I'll let you make the first pick. Who do you want on your team? Your grandma. Good choice. Okay. I'm going to take Nancy Keller. She's a good singer. Who do you want for your second pick? Okay. You want Christy? I'll take her mom. So I've got Charlotte. Those are my second pick. Your second pick. All right. Who's your third pick? It gets tougher. Kathy, over here? Yeah, I think it's Kathy. Okay, fine. Then I'll take the lady next to Kathy.
You'll take Carolyn?
Okay, I'll take Carolyn. You took Madeline. I was going to take Madeline. Uh-oh. Maybe I should have picked her first. I got to spend 5.5 hours in a car with her across the desert. If we go to a rest stop, she might be the only one leading it. All right, you got Madeline. I'm going to take Josh. Okay? Who's your pick? We've got 2 more picks. All right, do you want the man or the woman? The man? All right, so you get Leon. And to keep things fair, I'll take Vicky, his wife. All right? Now, there's 2 more picks left. You get one, and I get one. You've got Lori and Catherine. Which one do you want? You want Catherine. Okay. Lori, then you get to be the last one picked. Okay. Issa, I'm going to give this to you. You can go work on this when you get back in the pew. Go ahead and have a seat. Because we're actually not going to play a game. I just wanted to go through the selection process. Because doesn't it always figure that when you're a kid and you're choosing up sides, somebody is always the last one picked? Madeline and I like to watch the cooking shows with Gordon Ramsay on television. One of our favorites is MasterChef Junior. Actually, it's a very annoying show because these 8 and 10-year-old kids are cooking masterpiece dinners, gourmet recipes. At 8 years old, I had to struggle with peanut butter and jelly. Because I put the peanut butter on one slice of bread, put the jelly on the other slice of bread, and then put the jelly bread on top of the peanut butter, so the jelly was on the outside. Anyhow, it's no fun being the last one picked. And our sermon this morning is about being chosen. It's from our New Testament lesson, the first chapter of Paul's letter to the Ephesians. And remember, the people in Ephesus were not Jews. And the Jews had been the first ones to hear the message of Jesus the Messiah. And in their belief as the chosen people of God, they felt that Messiah was reserved for them alone. It was a very exclusive club. But God revealed to Simon Peter that God shows no partiality. And he revealed to St. Paul that in Jesus there is neither Jew nor Greek, slave nor free, male nor female, Republican nor Democrat. Wait, that wasn't in there. Never mind, forget that one. But there's no difference. And Paul was writing to the Ephesian Christians to remind them that Jesus had chosen them to be part of God's people. And it didn't matter that they weren't Jews. Now, once upon a time, there was a boy, we'll call him Josh, just because we can. And Josh liked to work in his wood shop at home. And he took a block of wood and carved it into a beautiful sailboat. And when he was all done carving and sanding and painting and varnishing, he took his boat down to the river. And he pushed it out into the water, and the wind took it and sailed it out into the middle. It was beautiful. But then the wind got stronger, and the boat got pushed further away. And when Josh pulled on the string to bring the boat back to the shore, I'm sorry, Josh, the string broke. And the boat sailed away. And Josh ran along the shore, jumping over branches and rocks and crashing into trees and being attacked by lions and tigers and bears alive. But he could not catch the boat. Heartbroken, he went home. A few days later, he was walking downtown, and as he passed a toy store, he looked in the window, and there was a boat, just like his. So he went inside and inspected it more closely. It was his boat, all right. And he said to the owner, "That's my boat you've got in the window." And the owner said, "No, it's not." The boy said, "Yes, I made it." "Well, maybe you did, but somebody else brought it in to me and sold it to me. I'll sell it to you if you want, only $50. So Josh went home, took up all the money he had been saving to go to camp that summer, came up with just enough money, went back to the store, and purchased his own boat. And as he was carrying it home, clutching it to his chest, he said to the boat, "You are now twice mine. I made you, and now I bought you." So it is that we, along with the Ephesians, are twice owned by God. God made us. God was thinking about us and knew who we were before we were born. Before God created, we were in his plan to be his family. But when sin came to separate us from God, God paid the price to reunite us with him so that we could be chosen again. It's good to be chosen. It's good to feel wanted. And I know that in the course of my ministry, I have dealt with many people who felt unwanted, as if no one had chosen them. Distraught spouses because their partner had decided to choose someone else. Upset employees because their employer chose someone else for promotion. Students who felt someone else was the teacher's pet. But for us, there are a number of things that God offers us when God chooses us. And the first is redemption. Christ offers to buy you. Now, the word that Paul uses here for redemption is a word that is used in the slave trade. It's used for slaves who were purchased for the purpose of setting them free. And so Paul is reminding us that through the blood of Jesus, we have been purchased by God so that we can be set free. In John 8, Jesus said, If the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed. Redeemed by the blood of Christ means we are free from the power of sin. We are able to resist the temptations that life puts in front of us. We are able to deal with rejections and sadness and sorrow. Because we were paid for with a price. Like Luther says in his catechism, not with gold or silver, but with his holy precious blood and his innocent sufferings and death, that I might be his own and live under him in his kingdom. But being chosen also means being forgiven. In verse 7 of our text from Ephesians 1, Paul calls our attention to the blessings of forgiveness. I once saw a Christian greeting card that said, if our greatest need had been information, God would have sent an educator. If our greatest need had been technology, God would have sent a computer scientist. If our greatest need had been money, God would have sent an economist. But since our greatest need was forgiveness, God sent us a Savior. Forgiveness is one of the blessings of redemption. At the Last Supper, our Lord said, "This is my body, given for you for the forgiveness of your sins." A third thing that comes as a result of being chosen is that we become recipients of God's grace. Paul says our forgiveness, our redemption, are in accordance with the riches of God's grace that he lavished upon us. You find that in verses 7 and 8 of today's text. These riches of his grace are wonderful things that he gives to us. A few weeks ago, Sister Nancy sang Amazing Grace for us and shared with us a little bit of the story about that song's origin. A man, a horrible man, who experienced God's grace and forgiveness and wrote about how what a wretch he once had been and how blind he had been but now was able to see. Grace is the result of redemption, and it's demonstrated to us through God's blessings. He blesses us by not giving us the justly deserved punishment for our sins. There once was an emperor in the Far East who was growing old and knew that he would soon have to choose his successor. Now, normally when an emperor needed to choose a successor, he would make his selection, his choice, from one of his own children. But this emperor didn't have any children. So he ordered all the eldest children of noble birth to come to the palace. And he announced to them that he was about to step down. He gave each of them a seed, and he instructed them to go home and plant it. In 1 year, he told them, you will return to my palace, and I will judge what you have grown. The youth whose plant I deem the most beautiful and best nurtured will become the next ruler of my kingdom. One of the boys who was present was a young boy named Glen. Glen took his seed home, and he very carefully prepared a pot with soil, and he nurtured it, and he planted that seed, and he watered it, and he put a little fertilizer around it, and every morning he would go and watch to see what had sprouted up out of the ground. But after a week, nothing. After 2 weeks, nothing. After a month, nothing. And he cried to his mother, my seed is not growing. Mama, what can I do? And Mama said, be patient. Some seeds take longer than others. But a month became 6, and 6 became 12. Nothing. And the day came for the boys to bring their potted plants. And so all the young boys in that kingdom took their pots and brought them back to the palace. And some had beautiful flowering plants. Others had young bushes with fruit on them. And there was Ling with his pot of dirt. And so when they all gathered, Ling positioned himself as far from the emperor as he could, embarrassed by his failure. And the emperor came out and walked amongst all the children, examined each of their plants, went back to his throne, sat down and said, I have made my choice. The next emperor of my kingdom will be Ling. Because you see, I waxed each of the seeds that I gave you a year ago. It would have been impossible for you to grow anything with the seeds I gave you. That you have come into my presence with a plant fully grown tells me you cheated and are not worthy to be the next emperor. I choose you, Ling, because you had the courage and the integrity to stand before me with your plot of dirt. So it is that we stand before God with the dirt of our sins. And God looks at us and judges us worthy of the kingdom. Worthy for us to be sons and daughters of the King. Not because we've grown such a wonderful plant, not because we've done anything spectacular, but because God loved us so much that he had Jesus do for us that which we could not do for ourselves. Praise be to God that we have been chosen. May the peace of God, which passes all understanding, keep your hearts and minds through faith in Christ Jesus. Amen. We worship God with our offering.